What's up, YouTube? We're outside the West Hall where we have all the trucks, overlanding gear, and all that kind of stuff. Super excited. Today is day one, and here at Sema, Las Vegas. We're going to check out some of the new gear, some of the new equipment, do some interviews with people, and see what's the latest and greatest. So come on with me inside. We're going to check everything out. So it's Chris.
Yes.
And you guys are based out of Oregon?
Chris Horton, Yakima, based out of the Oregon area, yeah.
This is your first show for Sema. Obviously, Yakima has been a player in the industry for a long time, mostly with roof racks and car carriers. I know they've had the soft top shell tents for a little while.
Yep.
About how many years has
we've had soft shells out over 5 years, so we've been in there a bit as it kind of expanded to not just the hardcore overland guys, and other people saw the use of it and use of rooftop tents. We were there to kind of fill that gap.
Great. And now we're moving into hard shell rooftop tents, as we can see here.
Yep.
And this isn't even on the website yet.
No, this is a Skypeak HD tent, so this isn't out yet. It launches in 2025, so soon.
Great.
So you'll see it right at the turn of the year. So what's great about this is a hard shell tent compared to a soft shell tent. When they say hard shell, it's because you've got a full shell that's covering as you're driving down the road.
All aluminum?
It's all aluminum core. It's not an ABS or a plastic top or anything. It's all aluminum because we're a rack company. We wanted to basically make a roof rack you could sleep in.
Right.
So we built it very, very durable, very tough, so that you can add 165 pounds of stuff on top. You can see it like flayed open right now with 75 pounds of gear with a bike and a boat even. And then on the sides, you can mount up to 75 pounds of stuff. So we've got like an awning on one side. You could throw a 4-gallon like road shower on the other side. That's underneath that 75 pounds.
How much weight on each side?
75 pounds on each side. So, and then 165 pounds on top. So that's when I say this is a tent that's also a roof rack. It makes you be able to do both things. And then on the inside, we got big open space. We use a pop out instead of kind of your standard wedge. What this pop out does is it gives you some interior space. You got some elbow room and some work, but also strengthens the whole thing. It creates now a solid shape so you can have that storage up top as well.
I like how you described it as a roof rack that you can sleep inside, because one of the issues that I see in the industry is, for instance, I've got a Gladiator. The Gladiator has a shell. It's not a camper shell, but it's an RLD shell on top. Then I had to go buy a roof rack to put the rooftop tent on top of. And of course, with the rooftop tent, I can't really put anything on top of it because it's a fiberglass shell on the outside.
Yeah, while I was testing this, I had a couple of trips with a couple of boats. I wanted to go on the weekend with the family to the lake and just go on the boats. We weren't going to camp, but I didn't have to take the whole thing off. I just put the boats on top of the tent. You go, you treat it just like your standard roof rack on a weekend.
So talk to me about weight. How much does a setup like this weigh?
Yeah, what comes with all of that ability to hold weight is a little bit of weight. So the tent itself weighs 180 pounds.
Okay.
So you'll need a rack system that can manage that.
So you need a rack to put the tent on?
Yeah, or the rack that's like what you'd see that comes with a normal vehicle. Say you bought like a Ford rack and it came with a basic Ford rack, it wouldn't quite fit this. You would need a nicer level system from somebody like us. So like a Yakima system with 2 bars, we actually have 3 bars on this one, so you can even put more weight on it. But at 180 pounds, you'll want a nice, rack system from somebody like us.
Right.
Where soft shell tents, those are actually lighter. So anytime you get under like under 150 pounds, like that's 135 pounds. I think our lighter one's closer to 100 pounds, maybe 120. With those being under 150, 160 pounds, now you can pretty much throw it at any roof rack you want. And we've got new low-profile clamps that makes the tent sit really low, and then also it's got a wide range, so you could put it on a wide variety of crossbars.
So if someone were to buy this, I assume they could call you guys and describe the vehicle they have, and you guys have the whole solution.
Yep.
They could order right from the website.
Exactly.
And so forth. What made you guys get into the hard shell, the hard shell playing field?
A couple of us wanted one.
Yeah.
It's a market. It's not going to be the market we're going to make the most money on. We're not going to sell thousands upon thousands upon thousands of these, but it fits into our kind of mode of we make cool stuff to take outside and bring other stuff with you. It's a modular tent, just like we have modular racks on the inside now, modular racks on the outside.
Right.
It just kind of fits our brand, and then personally it fits what we do with all the things we attach to it. So yeah, you've got this cool tent, but now you can put a bike rack on it that we sell. We can put the boat racks on it that we sell. So for us, it's just a really good complement, and we need to make sure it works because we have very rigorous testing. So we couldn't do that with a competitor tent.
Right.
We need to do it with our tent. We can do that competitive, we can do that really rigorous testing on ours, but we couldn't do it on that. So now we can certify this to carry all of that weight and carry all those things.
So I see also the material on this, and from my experience with rooftop tents, most of the time the material is really thin.
Yeah.
They really don't provide any kind of insulation whatsoever. This seems like the material,
Much tougher.
ripstop nylon.
Yeah, it's much thicker. Like one of the things, again, if we're not going to try to be this super lightweight tent, you don't want a lightweight fabric that's going to tear just by using it up and down. You're going to be putting this up and down, you're going to be using it on the inside. So this is like ballistic level. I come from a backpacking company, and this is like what we would use on ballistic level bottoms of packs to protect it.
It's going to last.
So it's very durable. And on top of that, it's blackout. So with these big walls and doing a darker gray where you see a lighter color on some of the other ones, when you have this and it wakes up in the morning, you don't know the sun's up. So you get a nice blackout feeling inside the tent. And then when you want the light, you got plenty of windows that you can bring it in.
And this one here would sleep 3 to 4 people, you said?
Yeah, 3 people would be comfortable.
So I see you also have the awning over here. And
Yeah.
we'll walk around and get some more pictures of that in just a second. But the awning, this is what, 180 degrees?
Yep, so we have a 180 degree awning. What's really cool, this awning, and then we have a 270 degree as well behind us. Both of them come with full wall kits. Not come with, but you can buy them separately, sorry.
Right.
They're separate wall kits. So that's full wraparound, has doors and some windows. Combined with this hard shell and an annex. So this hard shell has an annex that comes down
this
here.
has an annex itself.
Yeah, so
out
this
of
has
the
an
back.
annex that comes out the back. And then if you combine that, you get a small New York City penthouse apartment
Oh, I can
with
imagine.
a walled-in area. It's a really nice kind of base camp when you combine the awnings with the tents.
One of the things I really like about the awning is every manufacturer says, oh, our awning doesn't require the posts.
Yep.
I'm telling you, they all do.
Yeah.
And I see that this one has them integrated already.
Yep.
Every awning that I've ever bought, I've always ended up going and buying extra poles for, just because. And then what I like to do is I'll take reusable shopping bags,
Yeah.
and I just bring a bunch of them with me, and I'll fill them with dirt, rocks, whatever, to help tie it down
sandbags.
as well. And it makes it super easy. But that's a nice feature that they're included,
Yep.
even though obviously if you have a no-wind situation or
And that's
light
exactly
wind,
it. It has to be a no wind, light wind. Like we word the instruction manual carefully for like when you should use the poles and obviously it benefits.
Right.
But there's a lot of times where you don't need them, and the ability to just kind of one person flay this out. Like that's the other thing about freestanding is you don't need 2 people to set it up. So even the setup makes it easier because it's freestanding at the start. But then it comes with 2 poles on this one, 3 poles on the bigger one, so that you can then tie them down. And the poles can go anywhere you want. Every end's got a little socket for them, so you can move them around as necessary.
so the 270 would fit on this camper as well.
Yeah, so like this with the ladder on the side, you can run a 270, it wraps all the way around and it covers everything.
The ladder feels like it's a lighter weight than most of the ones I've felt before as
So
well.
the ladder is actually one of the coolest things we've done. So both tents got new clamps from Yakima. We know how to do clamps and roof rack stuff, so we made some
Without
low
question.
profile, simple ones. But our biggest benefit here is these ladder rungs are not quite twice as wide, but almost twice as wide, but we also threw a curve in them. So these are
see that.
barefoot friendly.
Nice.
It's a huge issue that we've noticed among forums and people complaining is that you get this square that's slightly at an angle, so you just step on the peak every time you're climbing up a ladder. So we angled the steps and we curved them so you're not stepping on this sharp point.
I'm only laughing because there have been times where I've gotten up in the middle of the night
And you don't
to go
wanna
to the
get down.
bathroom or take the dog for a walk or whatever, and I end
Yep.
up sliding down the
Yep.
ladder.
Now, far more stable, far more surface area to grab, and there are things that you don't see here. This comes with lights on the inside. It comes with two shoe bags too. So shoe bags, you just leave those up top so you can throw things on the inside as well. So
Talk to me about price point. What's something like this going to run?
$2,999, so $3,000, which is actually a great price.
For
When you look at our
solid
competitors,
aluminum,
solid aluminum case, has all of the things it can do, a memory foam mattress, built-in lighting. We've got lots of power pass-throughs and electronics organization on the inside as well. So for $3,000, it's a deluxe level tent.
What about this setup? This is awesome as
So,
well.
So we've done all of this outdoor stuff for years, and we recently launched some kind of a modular, thing on the back. And we realized we have all these drawer systems and organization systems that people like.
Right.
And you've seen, obviously big truck like slides, but trying to take this to a broader consumer and not just a waterproof type of consumer. So it's not waterproof because we know this is going to be internal. So we're not looking for like outside truck bed.
Right, just
if you're
storage.
in a Jeep, you're in like an SUV or anything like that. Like I've mounted this to the back of the truck. We actually had a rider at Red Bull Rampage recently. I had this in the back of his ATV, so you can just put all his kit in there. But what's cool about it is it's different sizes for different rigs.
So
And
completely modular.
Yeah, so it's totally modular, and it's toolless. We're not telling people to drill this into their floor. There is some custom application, so you can get the mounts if your vehicle does have mounts, but most vehicles come with mounts on the sides. So what that means is you're not asking for a whole custom operation. It also means is that if you buy another car after this one, there's a very high likelihood if the widths are about the same, you can just take it with you. You're not going to get rid of the system.
Right.
So you've got what starts with is a big base level, and then you can stack and go on there. Inside you've got totes, you've got a little workbench. You can put it in the smaller shelves, and then totes on top. We also realize that most of the time you're not on flat surfaces, so we have these lock out. So you have to give it a little shove and it goes. But what that means is when you're on an incline, decline,
It's not going to just slide back in.
So you got one-handed operation, so you can put things in, it stays, so you can kind of manage things. But yeah, very modular, whether you just want a short guy and leave this on top, or you can stack it
So
three
could
high.
you do two? You could stack 3 high. You were going to say.
Yeah.